Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of my Trove news series. In this series, I take all of the news that Trion themselves give us, and then I give it to you guys in one easy video. There's a lot today, so let's get right into it. First off, what they showed was the Primordial dragons. These dragons are going to have specific effects, like the air one will have a speed boost attached to it, the water one will have a water effect to its fireballs, and then the fire one will basically be the old dragons that we used to have before they fixed them. Well, I guess nerfed them, where you can just basically hold down your left click and it will spam fireballs in a very, very short interval, less than a second. So those are the effects of all three of the dragons. The next thing they're going to do is they're going to add passives to gems that you have equipped. So what they showed was the fire one. It adds 10% bonus stats to all of your fire equipped gems. And these dragons will be dropping from the empowered gem boxes, which we'll get into later. They're going to be a rare drop, a very rare drop, considered to be like the Gondas of this new update from these empowered gem boxes. Next up, they talked mostly about gems this stream. That was the bulk of it. So gems, first of all, are going to be untradeable. They are not going to be marketable, tradable, anything. They're going to be personal and personal only. These will be coming from the elemental worlds, which are themed sort of worlds with certain biomes in them. Like the fire world will most likely have the Dragonfire Peaks biomes, or the pirate biome with lava instead of water. That's kind of like their deal. Doing quests in these biomes will be the ones that drop the gem boxes. It's going to have a chance to drop a fire gem box in the fire world, a water gem box in the water world, and then an air gem box in the air world, which is basically the sky realm. And higher difficulties have a chance at higher rarities. So if you do the U6 water world, you're gonna get, say, the legendary, which is the orange rarity gem boxes. If you do U8 or U9, you're going to be getting the higher shadow ones. These gem boxes also drop gem dust, which is used for upgrading the gems. They only update the stars of the gems, I guess you could say. Basically, gems have levels. The higher the rarity, the more levels they have. So at Relic, which is the red gem rarity, they have 15 levels. At Resplendent, which is the rainbow, it has 18 levels. And these gem dusts are basically for upgrading that. You cannot upgrade rarities. So if you find a rainbow gem, you're keeping that rainbow gem. You only level the gem itself. You don't make it into a shadow later on. It'll always be a rainbow, and that is the cap. They also have special effects at every 5 levels. So say at level 5, what they gave an example was it will add a stat onto the gem. So the gem will have critical hit damage, and you can add a stat which will give it, say, magic damage. It's just a random stat. And this also applies again every 5 levels. So what they also gave an example was at level 10 and 15. It's just going to give a huge boost to the existing stats rather than a minor increase. I don't know the increase. It might be tied kind of like how gear is right now, where you gain 2% stats on top of each other every star you upgrade, and then at, when you go from Relic to Resplendent, which is red, to Rainbow, it'll add 10% for that from the 5th star to the 0 star of the next level. It might be like that, where it'll give 10% instead of 2%. I'm not sure the values. Obviously, I'll be having that information once the actual patch launches, and we have the correct information then. The gems can also break or crack while you're upgrading, and you would use regenerators to fix these cracked gems, and these are available for both qubits and credits, and that's basically all the information that we got for the regenerators. And there will also be gem boosters, which have different effects to boost your leveling effects of these gems. Some give 2 times, or have a chance to level up your gem twice with one upgrade, or there's another one that will allow you to never break your gem or crack your gem if you don't want it cracking while you're leveling it up, when it has a higher chance to break. And you can also get these from the store. You can buy them with both credits and qubits. It'll be a lot more expensive with qubits, because the only way to get the higher tier or more beneficial gem boosters is to buy them through a box, which you can buy for qubits, but it's going to have a higher rarity chance to come from that box when you buy it. Gems also will cost flux to unsocket. That way they can encourage you to keep your gems on one class, because each class will have its own specific gem sheet, I guess you could say, or gem equipment slots, kind of like how all the classes do right now. Whenever you switch, you have to switch your gear around. They're making it where they cost flux to unsocket, so it encourages you to keep them on that one class. Instead of switching around how you do gear right now, you can have one set of Radiant and use it on all your classes if you wanted to. And they want to kind of not encourage that because they want classes to feel unique and they want you to work on each class, because right now leveling up classes is super easy because you can have a Radiant on anything just by buying one set of Radiant, and that's basically their way to fix it, I guess. Now we can get into the Empowered Gems. These are going to be gems that cost Lunar Souls to buy a box, which basically have the chance to drop them. These have more impactful effects, kind of like Legendaries and Diablo. If you've ever played that game, Legendaries have a very specific effect on them, and that's what these gems are going to be. They're going to be your big gem. You have one slot for each specific primordial effect, I guess you could say. You'll have a water, an air, and a fire one, and these will give very big bonuses, and sometimes even build-defining bonuses, so that I'm really looking forward to. And also these boxes that you buy with Lunar Souls, they have a chance to drop a class gem key, which allows you to go to do a challenge, and once you complete this challenge, it'll drop a class-specific stellar gem for the class that you use to complete the challenge, and these challenges are going to be for around power rank 3000 or above, and they are tuned to be group content, kind of how like Shadow Towers right now. That's basically the end game that they're looking for in terms of gem progression, and these again come from those lunar boxes, so you're going to have to still go back to the Shadow Towers, kill Dar of the Moon, kill the new Hydra boss, get your Lunar Souls, and then you can go and buy those boxes, and you have I think it's either an uncommon or a rare, obviously. It could either be one of the two. I forgot what it was. I'm sorry, it'll be on the screen, so maybe it'll show up on the screen. But it's going to be either uncommon or rare, and it'll allow you to do these challenges in another world. And the last thing that they showed off were new mounts, and these mounts are going to be droppable and craftable, kind of like how all the old craftable mounts are. You know, you have to get a pen block to craft all the pen block mounts and stuff like that. And these are going to be available from U8 and above, and that's pretty much all the information they gave it to us. However, they did show off all the mounts, so I'll have them on the screen right now as I move into the next topics. So the last thing that they said, well, they mentioned, they answered a question in chat, was about the donation cap that they have. How I had a very big issue with his donation cap, because why would you cap yourself on charity? That doesn't make sense, because if you're doing a charity, why would you add a cap to how much you were giving to them? So basically, this could have been an excuse, and it could not be true. It could just be, you know, to relieve the chats of their anger, I guess. But basically they said if they reach the donation cap of $20,000, then they will look into increasing it. Still does not fix it, in my opinion. I still hold all of my beliefs true from my last video. You shouldn't put a cap on charity. They're still going to give 50%. They said we're still going to be giving 50% of all of our earnings to charity, and we're keeping 50%. However, they said they might increase the cap if they end up reaching it, which why even put a cap if that's going to be the case, is my understanding. Like, it's just common sense. They're probably just saying this to relieve some stress from some people, which I'm not buying it. If they do increase the cap, they're still increasing the cap. Why have a cap at all if you're just going to keep increasing it? I suspect that it's just for the non-detriment of the reputation, which in my opinion has already been gone, so they should not be defending themselves in that way. It makes it worse in my eyes, because it's trying to relieve the people that can't think for themselves, I think is what they're going for. They think that everybody's stupid, which we're not, obviously, because I call them out every single week. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. Could not be true, obviously, because I'm only person. But yep, that is my opinion. So let's get into the giveaway. This is going to be the last giveaway. So if you want to enter, just type your IGN down below. It's going to be for a Radiant face. Once again, it's going to have HP, attack speed, percentage HP, and critical damage. And that is it. Like I said, you can leave both your IGN and your Steam ID down below if you want. I'm always going to ask you for your Steam ID if you win anyways. However, if you want to just wait for me to tell you that you won before leaving your Steam ID, I understand. And that's all you gotta do. Just leave your IGN down below. That's it. And you have a chance at of winning this Radiant face. And that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.